What's up, everybody? Nicholas Kuzmich here from nicholaskuzmich.com, and in this video I want to show you how you can generate even more leads with the current content that you probably have out there already and taking advantage of that content. Hey, before we begin, if you're looking for my latest and greatest training on how to convert more leads using Facebook and how to get ROI positive campaigns, go to nixtraining.com, NICStraining.com. You get a very special offer today that is pay what you want, right? You decide what to pay within a very suggested minimum price, of course. The value is at $455, but you can go ahead and get a great bundle package there at a price that you think is fair. So go ahead, go there now and get my latest training. So here's the deal, right? I have found that so many people have great content out there. Let's just call it like blog content. They're putting out content on a regular basis. And the problem is this: most people are generating claps from their content, but not transactions. What does that mean? It means that people are putting out great content and your prospect reads the content. And then after they read the content, they're like, wow, that was fantastic content. Thank you so much. I can't wait till your next one. Man, there's nothing wrong with that per se, but ideally, if we can use that content that is already out there and reposition just a few things with it, then we can see how we can use it to generate leads. Ideally, put them in our 3C predictable profit process and start to see revenue and generate income within a 72-hour window, running cold ads or maybe even dropping an email or even running organic kind of traffic because of the visiting of your post. So here's what we're going to start with. We're going to look at what I call a parallel, or in fact, let's just call it a parallax post. And the reason why we call it that is because it kind of has two parallel or parallax purposes that go on at the same time. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of draw what might look like a blog post here. Title, you got some stuff, you maybe got a banner, some stuff, and an ending, and maybe you've got a few sidebar type things going on. And this, my friends, is what often people see as a general piece of content that's somewhere living out on the interweb. And again, the problem that most of us face is that this content that we put out there generates hand claps instead of transactions. And I'm going to show you how, without even writing any more content, you can reposition a few things on the content that's already out there to start generating leads and leads to sales and sales to transactions, and do everything that we want to do right there out on the interwebs. And I believe that there are 5, go ahead and write that down, there are 5 ways you can generate leads from your content without, again, really doing anything much to it except repurposing it. Hey, before we go on, if you want my latest and greatest training bundle on how to generate return on investment, right? Return on ad spend, ROAS, from your latest advertising campaigns, go to nixtraining.com. I think somewhere here you'll see it there. Nixtraining.com. That'll allow you to go grab that training now. You can pay what you want. Be fair, there is a minimum suggested price, but work on that, apply it, and get some amazing results. So again, 5 ways that you can use your current content to start generating leads, right? Way number 1, and most people are already doing this, but if you're not, you need to start, and that is with what I call an end CTA, or call to action, right? So if you put out this amazing content, right? And let's say in my case, it's about how to write great Facebook ads. If you just left it at there and said, hey, so long, hope you enjoy it, go on your day. Well, then again, people are going to be like, that was cool, but if I have a lead magnet that is specifically on how to write better ads, which I do, by the way, if at the end of that, if I just said, hey, did you enjoy that content? Well, if you did, you might be interested in my 10-stage ad writing formula, which is a template that you can have absolutely free. Look, I've used it to generate tens of millions of clicks, millions and millions of leads, hundreds of millions of dollars, and you can have it absolutely free. So just click here to get it. And again, if that is congruent with the rest of the content, then you're going to get a whole heap of people go over and get the lead magnet, start the 3C predictable profit process, and start to generate revenue and income from that, and generate an asset base of leads, which is kind of all that we want. So if you've got a great content piece and you haven't put a call to action at the bottom for a relevant lead magnet, start that today and you'll start seeing great results. The second thing is this. Now, I'm gonna pretend that everybody reads all my content, right? I think I'm a decent content writer. I think I put out some pretty good stuff. But the reality is that no matter how good your content is, not everybody is going to get to the end, right? And if the end call to action is the only place you're allowing someone to engage with you and get your lead magnet, then you're going to be missing some stuff on the table. So The second way to generate leads from your content is with what I call an inline call to action, right? So let's just write that down. Inline call to action. So this is where in the middle of a sentence, as you're referring to a very specific training point, you can have that hyperlink to your lead magnet where they click it, it brings up a shadow box to say, hey, you can get my 10-stage ad writing formula, just leave your name and your email, tell me where to send it. They fill that out, the box goes away, they can keep reading, right? So anytime you refer to something somewhere in the midst, naturally, as somebody is reading through your content and you refer to something of value, go ahead and make that a lead magnet. I've seen too many people outbound linking to stuff that they don't own or control or whatever, sending people away from your content and doing everything except generating the lead. I would say cancel all those outbound kind of hyperlinks and just use yours. Now, here's my general rule of thumb for inline call to actions. I want to put one at every third, right? So someone will read, start reading my content here and they'll see one in the top third. That's for the people who may not read any further, right? We want to have one, maybe here in the middle third. And then of course we have the one at the end. And this way, without having to scroll up or down from that content piece, they're going to go ahead and be able to get the opportunity to capture, we're going to get the opportunity to capture a lead by offering them a relevant lead magnet that again puts them in our top of funnel process, which again is designed to create a transaction quickly for those who are ready to take advantage of that. These are mandatory. So look, if you've got any piece of blog content out there that is getting any sort of traffic or you're going to start driving traffic to it, right out of the gate, I suggest you go right back there now and add inline call to actions on every third and at least an end call to action. And you're going to be well on your way to starting to generate leads, sometimes free because they come organically. But even with your paid traffic, you're going to start to generate leads almost instantly as a result of that. But there are 3 more kind of bonus ways you can do that. Number 1, right? Let's call this an exit intent pop. Now, this is simply states there's technology that when someone is reading on your blog, if they go up to the X or up to the X, depending on if you're Mac or PC, as soon as you kind of get close to closing that browser, a pop-up comes up and says, wait, right? Don't go anywhere. Now, be careful with these. These can be extremely annoying if you do it too often. And you can usually set the settings to do, anytime the first time someone comes to my site or once every 7 days or anytime they see a new piece of content or something like that. That could be a good opportunity for you to be able to to offer that. But here's the language that I like to use for my exit intent pops. I like to use this. I say, wait, don't leave empty-handed. Right? Which is a much better way than saying, where you think you're going, give me your name and your email address so I can start, spamming you or whatever. That's not what we're trying to do. But if you use the terminology, wait, don't leave empty-handed, I've got a gift that I want you to have. And of course, if you use some good copy that's related to the rest of your content, people will be like, yeah, I don't want to leave empty-handed. I want to get that gift that person gets to me. Right? So, by the way, if you're serious about this kind of stuff, right? If you're serious about getting some of the best training out there on lead generation, lead acquisition, customer acquisition, getting a ROAS from your Facebook ads, go to nixtraining.com, N-I-C-S training.com. And right now we've got this great training bundle that you can get. Name your own price. Be fair, there is a minimum suggested thing there. But go ahead, name your own price, get the training, and most importantly, deploy it and start generating leads into your business, right? So that is 1, 2, 3 ways you can use content to start generating leads. Now there's 2 more ways. One of them is using one of your sidebars, right? Now, oftentimes blogs have these things set up and you have your sidebars and oftentimes you use it for advertising or to promote something else that's going on. But this is one of your most valuable pieces of real estate on your blog where you can offer your top performing lead magnet right there. And on any page of content that they go, they're most likely going to see that in that number 1 position. So if you've got a great kind of image there that offers a great lead magnet with some great content, this is one of the many ways that someone is going to be able to just click, brings up a shadow box, fill out your name and your email address, get the thing, and continue through the process. So the sidebar or the advertising bar, if you will, is another great way to do this. Now, the last way that I like, and again, you've got to use some of these sparingly. You don't want to be overzealous with this stuff. But one of the another great ways to do it is with this cool little piece of technology called an Hello Bar. Right now, a hello bar is this like really unintrusive. It's not like these welcome mats, quote unquote, where like it literally covers the content and says you can't read it until you give me your name and your email address. We don't want to do that. But a hello bar is a nice little bar that sits on the top of the banner there, and you can choose the color, you can choose what it says. But if you got a little thing that kind of stands out in a little off color and says, hey, before you go, make sure you get this lead magnet. I think it'll be of great value to you. That is another easy, proven, unintrusive way of to generate a lead from someone who showed intent and interest in the subject matter that you are referring to. Okay, so those are the 5 ways you could do it. Now, for really, really easy reference sake, there's one tool that can handle all of this for you. If you go to www, in fact, let me do this in a different color, nixblog.com/exit. I believe that's it. And if it's not, I'll make sure it is. nixblog.com/exit, or I think it's opt-in. Either way, I'll make both of them work, right? This is a great tool from a friend of mine that he's developed a software on the WordPress platform that you could go ahead and use to do all of these and so much more, okay? The point here, though, is simply this. If you have content on the interwebs, we want the content to have a purpose. We don't want to just throw out content for the sake of throwing out content and hoping that over many, many years some magic goodwill happens, which it does, but some magic goodwill happens and then all of a sudden people come to us and are just like, yeah, great, some cool things, yay, whatever. When you're missing the opportunity, when someone is shown the greatest amount of interest, they've given you their most valuable commodity, which is time. Right? They've given you their most valuable commodity, time, to read some content which essentially says, I am interested in that which you are talking about. The best thing, the most valuable thing you could do for that person is say, hey, I've got this other thing that will help you with just that. Right? And that is where you offer your lead magnet. And as you offer your lead magnet in multiple different ways, because sometimes people just frankly need to be reminded, which is again why I'll say, if you want my latest training bundle, go to nixtraining.com. You can name your own price. Again, there's a minimum suggested there, but go ahead, name your own price, get it, and start applying it and using it. Why did I say that a couple times? Because sometimes people need to be reminded of that, right? So there's an opportunity for multiple times to remind them of an opportunity to get your lead magnet, which if you did it properly, provides amazing and stunning value to the individual, helps move the needle for them one step closer, and starts and perpetuates this relationship, which eventually will lead to transactions if you do everything right, right? So that is my desire for you today, how to take content from your most targeted and excited and intent-driven prospects, and rather than just saying, hey, great content, they take the ability to use this content to generate the lead, to put them in the top of your 3C predictable profit process, which will then in turn generate a lead asset for you over time, as well as create transactions. Look, I hope that was beneficial for you. More than anything, I hope and I exhort you and I encourage you to go ahead and apply this. Find your top pieces of content, the one that gets the most engagement, the one that gets the most amount of comments and traffic, the one that has organic views on it, however you determine that to be. Drive some traffic to it, but repurpose it just using a couple of these items, and immediately you'll see you get even better results. One last time, friends, if you are serious about increasing your return on ad spend with Facebook ads, look, it goes way beyond just the ad. It's not just the ad, right? There's the ad, there's the process, there's the offer, there's all these other elements, which is why I put together this amazing training bundle that I'd love for you to have. And again, as a little bit of a marketing experiment, you can name your own price above a suggested minimum at www.nixtraining.com. I do hope you enjoy that. Go and deploy. Let me know what you think of it, and we'll talk again real soon. We'll see you then.